Hello. Um, it's been quite a while since I've done a video, I think. Um, I I wasn't sure, like I've said before as well. I'm never sure whether or not or how much people get out of these videos, and other things have just taken over. Um, in life basically. But somebody messaged us the other day asking us because she'd watched the video that I did um, about the empath video, and she messaged us and said, you know, I talk a lot about kind of protecting yourself from other people's energies and all that type of thing and looking after yourself, but I hadn't really explained a lot about how to do that. And I thought and thought about how can I put this into a text message to reply to her, and there's just far too much to talk about. So it's inspired us to come back on and do a video, which I haven't done in quite a while. So thank you very much to that person who messaged us. You know who you are, because you have inspired us to come back and do a video which I haven't done for quite a while. So we'll get on to talking about protection and how to protect yourself spiritually and energetically. And there's a few different ways that you can do that. So I have had to make some notes because there's so much to cover. I thought I'll just write down a few little notes. So I keep looking up because look, this is how I've managed to write my notes. Right, I've hung it from a coat hanger. So it's hanging from the picture in front of us, rather than have it down flat beside us. So if I keep looking up above the computer, the screen, that's what it's for. Right. So how do you protect yourself energetically? You know, I talked about the empath video about how you can just walk into a room and or there's certain people who you're with. They can be what we call mood hoovers, emotional vampires, that type of stuff. So how can you protect yourself energetically? Okay, so the easiest one, the most straightforward one is setting that intention. You know, like it's that self-talk stuff of right today, you know, when you get up on a morning, today I'm not going to let anybody get to us. I'm going to stay in my power. I'm going to be, you know, a really, you know, confident, powerful person, and I'm not going to let anybody or anything take that away. Okay. um Again, obviously that's a really really easy thing to suggest, but it's not quite so easy to do. But I promise you, though, the more you do it, the more of that positive self-talk that you have with yourself, um, the more you believe it. You know, I've talked a lot about that, about the power of words and things that we say to ourselves. So the more that you're telling yourself, you know, nothing's going to get to me. I'm a strong person. I can deal with anything. Um, then the more you'll start to believe that. Um, I've talked a lot. I've done another video as well about raising your vibration as well and the power of positivity and gratitude. So the more higher you vibrate, the higher your frequency is, the more positive that you are, those are the types of negative entities, like energies and things like that. They just can't penetrate you. They can't be even near you. You're just vibrating so high that nothing bothers you. Nothing will get in through that your kind of protective bubble that your high frequency is putting out. Remember when I talked about the spinning top thing in the raising your vibration video? Things just bounce off you. Nothing can attach itself to you that's vibrating lower than you. So that's the most, I would say, straightforward one. Everybody can work on that. That's like something that everyone can do. Some of the other stuff that I'm going to come on to will depend on what your set of beliefs are, and what your thing is in terms of your spiritual pathway. But this is so, it's like, when I say basic and easy, it's not basic and easy if you're not used to doing it, but it's the stuff that you can pick up really really quickly, and you'll find it's really powerful, and easier to continue with that. So positivity, gratitude, raising your vibration, that will stop other people's negativity, things that they're either consciously sending at you or just bad vibes around you. That will that's a good way of protecting your own energy and keeping it up. And like I say, just keep checking in with yourself as well. How am I feeling right now? Is my energy a little bit low? You know, and do that many times throughout the day just to keep yourself up, energetically. Even, you know, when tough things happen, which they do, we've talked about a lot as well, that will affect your energy, but it doesn't automatically mean that you've got to sink right back down, because how we deal with things depends on how we are within our own energy. Okay, so that's one thing that you can do. Something else you can do if you like visualizing things is I don't know if I've talked about it in these videos, but I've definitely talked about it in meditation about your own power and strengthening your own power. So this for me is a visualization tool. You've got like your power comes in from where your solar plexus is. I'm like touching your solar plexus, but you won't be able to see. And it's like a ball of light that's in there. And if you visualize it on a morning, getting bigger and bigger and bigger till it fills you and it comes outside of your space, that's a strength, that's a protective power that nobody else can penetrate. So you can visualize that, your own power expanding out and out and out so that nothing can get through. Or you can just imagine yourself a protective bubble around you of golden light. And you tell yourself, again, it's intention and visualization, that I am setting myself this big bubble of protection around me, and nothing is going to penetrate that. Nothing is going to affect my energy today. And it's the power of words. I cannot stress to you enough about how important that is. We've got to keep telling ourselves that nothing's going to touch us, that we're really powerful, that we're really strong. And when things do happen, not to go jump straight in with some low vibrational responses, just to like take some time out, breathe, think about how you want to respond to a situation or a person. So when we are around people that we feel are sucking our energies, or really, that it just doesn't feel pleasant to be around, we really have to check ourselves. What is it that's going on for me that's being triggered right now by this person or this situation? And also, what is it about them that's making them behave the way that they are? So if you can kind of do a little bit of reflection about, why am I so triggered or bothered or whatever by this, that's really empowering for yourself and for your own energy. But also, if you could look, about what is it about that person that's making them feel that they need to be so judgmental, critical, negative, all those types of things that we absorb, especially as empaths, as you know. Just figure, what is it about them? So turn it back out to them rather than you absorbing it. That's really powerful for your own energy. So they're things that don't necessarily have anything to do with any of the spooky woo stuff that I talk about. They're just all visualization and intentions. Okay. Now we step into a little bit more of the spiritual stuff in terms of your own energy, and it depends on what your beliefs are as to who or what you will ask for protection. It can just literally be that you're like, you whatever your higher power is. So it could just be like, you get up in the morning, right, okay, universe, God, whoever it is, I need your protection today. Keep me safe from other people's negative energies, and just keep reminding yourself of that throughout the day. It might be that you work with angels or have that set of beliefs, and if that's the case, just ask them, on either in a situation or as you get about your day, that can they bring you some protection, whether that be your guardian angel or just angels in general, or the archangels. And if you do work with angels, you will know that Archangel Michael is the best person to ask for protection. With visualization as well, you can also imagine his cloak. I know he has a blue cloak of protection, but I've heard people talk about silver cloaks of protection as well. It's just whatever fits right, feels right for you. So, again, that's a visualization. It's asking whatever higher power that you believe in to bring you that protection, and not allow other people, their energies, whatever, to bring you down, or for you to let them seep into your energy space, especially if you're an empath. Okay. Or just ask your spirit team. Again, that depends on your set of beliefs. For me, my spirit team are what I call inspirers, protectors, guardians, and the people in the spirit world who either I know and who've passed over, or who've just been sent to kind of guide me and protect me. That's what I do. That's who I ask for protection from. And I am kind of getting a little bit more into the angelic side of things. Oh, I've just seen a little orb in front of me face there. Move that side. I'm not very good with this reflective thing. So yes, it depends on your sets of beliefs as to who you ask for your protection from. Okay. This is something else I work with as well, and not everybody does, but crystals. Crystals are fantastic at both protecting you from other people's stuff, but also absorbing other people's stuff. And there's lots of different types of crystals out there. I'm just going to tell you a few that are the most common ones. But when anybody's working with crystals, you have to choose what you feel intuitively drawn towards. But these are some of the ones that I have and do work with, and that I find are really, really helpful. So there's one called black tourmaline. I don't know if I'm saying these right, I think so. Black tourmaline, that's really, really good at grounding you. You know, when I talk about your chakras and we'll look at the root, or the base chakra, that's about grounding you. The more grounded you are, the more stronger. You think about a tree's roots, okay? The more grounded that tree is, the stronger its roots are, the less likely anything is to knock it over. So we have to think about that from this energetic perspective as well. So a lot of these crystals I'm going to talk to you about are mainly grounding crystals. Not all of them, but a lot of them are. So black tourmaline, okay, that's really good at grounding you. It's really good at repelling negative energy. So when we look at how we feel each other's negative energies, some of it's intentional. Some people want to purposefully hurt you, but some people will actually, depends on your beliefs again, might send what are known as hexes or whatever like that. But black tourmaline is really, really good at repelling any of that stuff, whether it's intentional, whether it's just you know, somebody doesn't realize what they're doing. It's fantastic at that. It's also really good at psychic protection as well. And people have different beliefs about when we need to be psychically protected. Some people don't believe that there's any such thing as negative spirits, shall we say, and some people do. And again, that's up to the individual. Some people just believe that what are perceived to be negative spirits are just trapped and need some help to, I suppose, pass over, like what we would do in people who are in the alive, shall we say, you know, the physical realm. So black tourmaline is good for that. Fire agate, whatever it's called, is also really good for spiritual and psychic protection. So if you're working with the spirit world, if you're working with energies and things like that, they are good for that. I call it hematite, but it might be hematite. I call it hematite. It's like a silver, like it looks like metal. That's absolutely amazing. I use this a lot. It's really, really good at protecting you from other people's emotions. So there's, like I said, there's a difference between protecting and absorbing. This is really good at protecting you from other people's emotions. I tend to use that. It's really good for empaths. I used to use that in like office-based work that I was doing, because there's lots of different energies going on. And I'm not saying that they were negative, but there was just a lot going on, and I just used to use that to protect myself from all of that stuff that was going on. So if you are a person that works a lot with technology, you're always on your phone, you're using laptops a lot, or if you live near a 5G mast or whatever, there's two that are really, really good at protecting your energy, because remember, energy is in all forms. So the electromagnetic stuff will also be affecting you. If you live near a 5G mast, which is, you know, recently been turned on or whatever, you might have affected your energy, because it's an electromagnetic thing. There's a crystal called shungite and a crystal called pyrite. They are really, really good at protecting your energy against electromagnetic stuff. And our house is full of it. The TV, phones, laptops, everything. And it's around, you know, it's just constant exposure to this. It might be good if you're feeling a bit of a drain from that, just to pop some of that in your pocket, bra, whatever you want to do. You can also get these like shower heads where you put the crystals in the top and the water comes through the shower head, and it's like an elixir type thing, but you don't drink it, although you can, and it just showers you with this water that's charged with crystals. Selenite is another fantastic crystal. This is a salt-based crystal, so if you do work with crystals, remember, don't put this one in the water, because it'll, you know, dissolve over time. Selenite is really good at cleansing energy, cleansing other people's energy, cleansing your home, and I have selenite in all four corners of my house, and what that does is create something called a salt seal, which prevents negative energies from coming into the home, or if it does, it cleanses them really, really quickly. That's a fantastic crystal to have. It's also really good at cleansing things like any I call them magical tools that you use, other crystals, tarot cards, all that type of thing. They're really good at it. It's good for cleansing that. Right, amethyst, that beautiful purple stone, That's really good for, it's good for a lot of things. Amethyst is my go-to. Amethyst and rose quartz are my go-to for most things. It's really good at healing. It's really good at emotional and spiritual protection. It's just a beautiful stone. Um, Black obsidian is another one that's quite common. I find again when you're working with crystals, you've got to tune into them because they affect different people in different ways. Black obsidian for me is, it's really good at absorbing negative energy and banishing those, like, hexes and stuff like that. It's fantastic at absorbing negative energy, but for me, if I'm not careful with it, it sucks everything in, the bad stuff and the good stuff. So I've got to be very, very careful for me when I'm working with black obsidian. Other people will tell you different. You've got to use crystals intuitively, okay? Clear quartz, that amplifies any other crystal that you're using. It's really good at strengthening your own energy, and it's really good at deflecting other stuff as well. It's a really simple but effective crystal. Just looks like a piece of glass, like a pebble of glass. Smoky quartz is really good at absorbing negative energy as well. And this is a really good one. I've not used this before, and I was just doing a little bit of research before. Blue kyanite is really good for stopping from people from messing with your head. So if you feel like somebody's trying to be a bit coercive, a bit controlling, trying to get inside your head a little bit, maybe some bullying or whatever going on, apparently blue kyanite is fantastic for that. If any of me crystal friends out there are watching this and you've worked with blue kyanite, please comment, because I would be interested to know if anyone has worked with this for a protective purpose. And I would say the most common one, the last one I'm going to talk about, the most common one is tiger's eye. If ever you talk about protective crystals, that's usually the first thing that someone says. It's really good for protection. It's really good for mental clarity. I use tiger's eye around a full moon because the full moon really, really fogs my mind up. It makes us not able to speak properly. I can't think straight. So tiger's eye is really good for me around full moons, but it's good. It's a good general overall protective stone. But again, it depends if crystals are your thing. If they're not, I apologise. I've just talked quite a bit about them. So other ways to protect yourself energetically when you go to bed at night, depending on, I suppose, who you are, what you do, if you're good at visualising things. I used to, I don't do this now, would visualise myself taking a coat off, and before I left work or before I got into bed, and everything that I'd absorbed that day, I would visualise myself taking this coat off and just hanging it up and freeing myself from whatever had gone on that day. I found that really, really helpful with not absorbing, because I worked with some really troubled people over the years. Of me not absorbing that being, because I didn't realise I was an empath all that time ago. But it's really important that before you go to sleep, you let go of everything that you've been holding on to that day. Otherwise, we can't really necessarily control our dreams unless you're very clever at that. And if we haven't let go of stuff before we go to sleep, chances are it'll still be draining us while we're asleep, or you'll be trying to you'll be thinking about it subconsciously, and it's still affecting your energy. Okay, so try and close down from everything that you've experienced that day, whether that's a visualization or just saying, right, okay, asking your higher power again, can you just help me sleep tonight and not let any of this negative energy impact me sleep. Just as simple as that. But again, it depends on what belief system that you have. Right, I'm going to say this word, you're going to be sick of it, but I've decided I am going to do a live on it, because it comes up over and over and